As always, we continue expanding our ever-growing metropolis, Fort Francia Bay. Today we're building one of the prettiest parts in town and a major tourist destination. We are placing the big Ferris wheel over the expressway along the river, plopping down the humongous National Art Gallery, and designing a park in front of it that lays the foundation for the biggest park of the city, that will stretch all the way into the suburbs. And if you wonder how I built all of that, let's dive in to have a closer look. This series is supported by mods. For a decade, the active modding community has made this franchise truly special, so I want to give something back. For every like and comment, I will donate 1 cent to one of these amazing people out there. This time, Triton Supreme, creator of the extra landscaping tools and many more. Thank you so much. We'll start by taking care of the street layout. That took a bit more planning than usual, but in the end I managed to make it look halfway decent. We extend this highway that comes from the right along the river and connect it to the bridge that is coming from the city center with a simple diamond interchange. Then later we will also connect it with other arterial roads that run through the city, so this will be one of the most important access roads to the downtown from this direction. In order to minimize the impact on the city and the riverfront, I decided to place the big Ferris wheel on top the expressway. At first I wasn't really sure whether I should place it where it is almost in the middle of the city, and I checked it out from all angles, but I'm getting more and more comfortable with the idea that it's here. And so it's a cool tourist attraction and sightseeing spot to get amazing views over the downtown and the bay. Another part of the city park next door is the National Art Gallery, which is definitely a very impressive building. But of course, it's also extremely huge, but with a few trees and details around it, the building doesn't stand out as much as it originally did, which is good. In the rest of the episode, we'll just try to make the street layout as organic as possible and connect all possible roads with each other, also with a quite messy interchange above the river, so that we have a simpler basis from which we can continue building in the next episodes. The neighborhoods around downtown will definitely be a bit more grid-like to get in that population.
What you did was meaningless. What's the point of your coldness? I cannot sleep with your eyes on me, they burning. So that you know me in and out. Need you to push back all those sprouts of insecurity. I won't have it to emphasize that.
I kind of love building stuff over roads. Don't ask me why I don't know myself, but I tried things out a bit and the Ferris wheel was a cool sightseeing piece to place here. The width of the grey foundations underneath the building fits perfectly so that you can place it over a 2-lane road, and that's exactly what I did here. Then, of course, I used the horizontal pillars to get a lid or a kind of foundation on which it will stand, and also build a footpath that leads down to the water next to it. Let me know what you think of that design. I think it's a cool park extension to minimize the impact of the expressway. There will then be a small park with a beach on this side of the river and a footpath where you can walk along. Of course, there's a big road next to it, but I think it's still a cool and scenic walk. I'll detail the rest with stones, bushes and trees so that everything looks as natural as possible. I'll also build a small volleyball court later, where you can play volleyball in the summer. In general, I think this is a really nice spot and it's like a kind of oasis in the middle of the city center.
That's how we stay alive.
Here I had to close the gap between the park of the Ferris wheel and the art gallery and the social housing apartments from one of the previous Genoa-inspired episodes. So I decided to place a football field in this corner and also another apartment complex with its own pool area. Someone commented that American football fields are not really found freestanding, such as soccer pitches in Europe, but are rather linked to schools. Again, that's not the case here, but I hope you can forgive me for that. Maybe we're building a school somewhere near here, but I could well imagine that there's just a football club whose ground this is and it's not necessarily linked to a school team. But I think that's just the difference between Europe and America. For the apartment complex we are using the non-functional static buildings because there wasn't really a street connection in the back here either, and one building is hovering over the expressway again. I just think stuff like that looks extremely cool. If I think about it, maybe I could replace two of the buildings with real ones so that a few people can get here and the parking lots are actually used.
Why can't
We are also building a parking garage and a basketball court. Unfortunately, somehow you can't put the differently colored basketball decals over the really colorful field anymore. Which I think is a bit of a shame because it's just too colorful for me, but well, it is what it is, I guess. For the park here, I wanted to create a mix of history and newer park designs. So the first thing I did was to build a classic footpath layout, where we then have fountains and a water landscape. But since the Ferris wheel was built later, the park was probably redesigned and a few newer concepts and paths were created as they intersect in a more random fashion and are not quite so symmetrical. The areas between the paths I will fill in with brick sidewalk surfaces, and some others will just remain green areas where you can sit and spend time on the grass. But this is just the beginning of the giant park. It will extend high into the hills, have a botanical garden among other things, and simply be the green lung of the city. This park will be relatively large, similar to the English Garden in Munich. But in order to create the park in the first place, I had to remove all the stuff on the Ferris wheel footprint with the Better Bulldozer mod. Fortunately, there were no error messages for pedestrian and car connections after I placed all the paths over it. What I find a bit of a shame is that every building has these large square areas around it, which, in my opinion, usually just look like shit. In order to bring everything to life and make it one organic park space, we have to place a lot of trees at the end, of course, so that it's just a nice green area and the urban park you all wished for in the middle of the city.
So much better. Balconies and bathtubs, what you want? Why don't we just get a place together? Why don't we just get a place together? Wake up at mine. Balconies and bathtubs, what you want? Why don't we just get a place together?
Very cool that you stuck around until the end. I'm definitely really pleased with how everything turned out, but what do you think? Is this the prettiest part of the city and a good urban park design? Anyway, here we can see the before and after, and I think we added a cool new little piece to our ever-growing metropolis. If you want to see how the city will develop in the future, stay tuned and subscribe so as not to miss any of the next videos. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, you can give the video a like to support these amazing mod and asset creators. How much we achieved we'll see at the start in the next episode. If you want to support me personally a little bit further, you can visit my Patreon site. There you will find a save game for every episode, and with this addition the city has definitely become a bit more amazing and bigger. You're very welcome to explore everything yourself down to the last detail, but don't forget to download all the mods I used. It's just a few clicks and in under 1 minute you can already hop into the game when you follow all the instructions on my pinned Patreon post. You'll find the graphics and luminous settings there as well, and we can also chat a bit and have a nice time, of course. I would like to thank all the people who have already decided to support me on Patreon so much. I'm absolutely speechless by your support over there, and exactly this support makes videos like this on a regular basis even possible, so if you want to see more, you know what to do. But now I say see you for the next episode when we'll continue with the next build until we fill out the complete map and my PC starts going up in flames. Have a nice day and ciao ciao for now.